Dysfunctional Systems, Episode 1, Learning to Manage Chaos. Click the screen to advance the game. Your choices will affect the outcome of the story. Alright, new story. Don't think I need to work on any settings. Sounds pretty good. Working families across Brighton are no doubt issuing a collective sigh of relief today, as the legislation for a minimum wage increase of 50 cents passed the Parliament early this morning. This bill comes after public outcry that the majority of Brighton citizens are without enough income, too poor to make ends meet after the recent increase in food prices. The change brings minimum wage for workers working out over 40 hours a week to 36.7 an hour. Wow. The workers working less to 320. Wow. Although welcomed by most, there's been a stiff opposition toward the bill from foreign investors, primarily those from Gabria. Major Gabrian companies, such as Uchko and Norkley, I have no idea how to pronounce that, have warned the wage increases would hurt Brighton's economy, arguing that the new rate would force more layoffs, as they cannot afford as many employees. President Barnaby. I was about to say, is that an M or an N, but yeah, President Barnaby, who has been supportive of the legislation since its inception, retorted that well-fed employees were more productive and reminded Uchko and Norkley representatives that employing a Brighton citizen was still over 16 times less expensive than employing a citizen of their home country. Stocks did, however, take a major tumble after the approval of the legislation. President Barnaby assured citizens that the drop should only be temporary, and that the markets will begin to rise after the initial shock has subsided. With this minimum wage increase, Barnaby has finally fulfilled the last of the campaign promises made during his 1523 campaign trail. Wow. Whether or not he manages to accomplish his 1527 goals remains to be seen. With that, we conclude our hourly business report. Next up, the latest in entertainment news. Without a doubt, I still find it strange. Everything's strange. Bizarre. Really, if these worlds were nothing like my own, at least then I could appropriately flip out. But no, they're similar. Too similar. I keep slipping into a feeling of normalcy, only to have that sensation of strangeness slap me across the face at the first sight of something weird. There are plenty of weird sights around to do so, too. Or sights. Like, for instance, these advanced-looking televisions in this decrepit-looking building, which I can only assume is an electronics store. They're the first things I've seen since arriving in this world that actually look somewhat new, fancy even. Up until now, everything has been old, ramshackle, and in various states of disrepair. It makes me feeling nervous. It makes me feel very nervous. It's just so profoundly disturbing. Will I ever get used to this? I think that I will. Some year or decade from now, if my mentor is any indication. Look at him, standing there so aloof, as if this was just another day to him. Which, yeah, I suppose it is. Well, what do I know? Nothing. Winter. Yes? Oh, her name's Winter. That's an interesting name. What do you think? Think about what? About what you just saw and heard. Oh. Well, to be honest, I wasn't thinking anything about it. Winter, we've only just started. Please try to focus. Yes, I will. Sorry. It's just... well... I'm still finding it a bit hard to wrap my head around the idea of destructive conflict. Well, of course, I was the same when I first started out. There aren't many examples of conflict at all in our world. Right. You might even find it surprising that war is actually a word in our dictionary. Totally. Yet still... Winter, you'll come to understand conflict very well, don't worry. After all, you'll be doing nothing but dealing with it. Lame. Well, anyway. You read the material on this world, right? It should have been in your homework. It was. Then tell me, tell me what you think. Perhaps it's time to admit I didn't spend much of last night reading the material, so much as turning the pages and glancing at them. I was tired, and honestly found watching the bubbles in my soda significantly more captivating than the words in those files. The way they merge with each other and crawl up the glass is pretty incredible. Incredibly pretty. You're certainly pondering rather hard there, Winter. You must be whipping up a dazzling answer. Oh god, you're setting his expectations too high for this answer. Brighton is poor? That's a fact, Winter, not a thought. Sorry, what I think is... I think... nothing. Look, what I've learned so far in class doesn't seem to be particularly applicable to this world, and I'm finding it a bit difficult to care. How I care anyway? Beside all that, this is also disconnected from me. Plus, it's only my second world. For heaven's sake, I'm still flummoxed by the fact that other worlds exist. What am I supposed to think when they just toss me into these places, give me a pat on the back and say, "Be on your way, merry child"? Actually, here's the thought. What kind of name is Brighton? It's a stupid name for a country. It sounds more like a town. The town of Brighton, population 40. Blah. I'll scream blah at Cyrus and any other mentor who questions me like this. I mean, I won't, but I would. I completely, totally, and so would. For now, though, an awkward and wobbling smile is all I can muster. Blah. Well, whatever. What do you think the next step is? Alright, cool it, Winter. Just remain calm, and genuinely consider the question. The next thing to do... We need to learn things that weren't given? Right. Sir, I couldn't ask my last mentor, why are the doziers we get before we come to these places so, thin? Well, it's because they are simply compromised of first-hand information, noteworthy things that mediators have gathered through observation and gleaned from prior trips to the world. You're lucky you even have that much. Sometimes you get sent to worlds that have never been visited before. Oh man, sounds like a pain. Let me tell you, it's never fun when a surprise dragon flies out from behind a mountain, or when you realize that the person you've been talking to is really just a convincing projection, or worse, a robot. Man. And once you start going into systems that threaten your definition of what being a world even means, good luck. Then again, only experienced meat-eaters have to deal with such things. You won't be going to any unvisited worlds. At least, definitely not yet. Oh. Another question, why revisit worlds that have been helped? I mean, once order is in a place, everything should be fine. I mean... Cyrus frowns, but his expression seems more complicated than that. I say that because his frown isn't alone. In his eyes were a glint of irritation, directed at no one in particular. As any glint, it's gone in a second, replaced by another thing that I can't quite decipher. Part of me is curious as to what it is, but most of me doesn't care. Here's the short answer, because chaos cannot be contained or removed. Although it can be lessened by us, it will rise again over time. Sir, are you saying that there's no point to anything? No. Chaos is not inherently bad, Winter. It just means that it is the means by which all worlds are born and continue, even ours. Furthermore, it is the spark of evolution. It plays a key part in those mutations which allow life to grow and improve itself. However, for life to succeed, there must also be order. It's like, well, it's like how cells must work together, and organs must serve their purpose. You see, a system where chaos is stronger than order is likely to collapse, just like an organism which has succumbed to disease is likely to die. In short, we are not here to eradicate chaos, Winter. We're only here to keep it in check. Oh. Anyway, where do you think we should go next? Well, someplace with a lot of information, I suppose. Allow me to get thinking about such a place. Oh, surprise, I'm done. The answer is so obvious it's insulting. After all, I had already gone there during my first mediation. The library. No, that's not... Why would we go to the library? I mean, I get your line of thought. Libraries can tell you a whole lot about a world's history. And I would bet there are computers there too, considering the world we're in. Unfortunately, that kind of knowledge probably won't be so helpful for this job. What about scholarly journals? Reliable sources? No, I think we should find a bar. Huh? A bar? What is it? Oh, well, I just had a thought. Are the bars here special, like library bars? I figured maybe you liked a drink as you read, maybe. Winter, stop thinking about libraries. Sorry. Bars here should be normal, as far as I'm aware. We'll head there because bars are where people go to talk. Cyrus then turns and to walk away, as if it is the natural thing to do. Well, it is not. I stand incredulously for 3 full seconds before realizing that we were supposed to move ahead. Well, here we are, walking along. Is this a street? I've seen a few vehicles pass us by, so I guess it is. Or, I should say I've heard them, for they have been loud. They're pretty sorry excuses for transportation, though. They have these grotesque metal protrusions out of their fronts, which billow dark smoke and occasionally drip liquid. As if that weren't bad enough, most every frame of these things looked like they had a bludgeon team went wild on it. They were such bewildering things that they distracted me from the matter at hand. Cyrus. Is he not going to elaborate at all? He just walked off after telling me that people talk at bars. Thanks, Cyrus. I would not have guessed that people talk at places. Isn't he supposed to be teaching me? How can I learn anything with such vague statements? Well, Winter. Well. You need to go to the ice cream parlor, Winter, because they sell food. Winter. Whoa. Goodness, how annoying. And hasn't he been annoying since orientation? Pestering me and staring at me? An annoying and unlikable person, this Cyrus. With a bad reputation at that, I hear. I mean, seriously, don't people talk everywhere? Sir, don't people talk everywhere? Isn't that the sort of things humans are known for in general? Well, aren't you, Snippy? Oh crap, I just ruined everything, didn't I? I need to stop thinking so much, or I'll let my thoughts slip out. I shouldn't have said it like that. He's my superior. I bet he'll lower my grade now. Sorry, sir, I didn't mean to be... It's just a bit frustrating when you don't explain yourself properly. Oh, I thought I was mostly self-explanatory. Not really at all, sir. Well, maybe it is. But I don't really know anything about bars. I've never seen the outside of one. Ah, that's right. We're not really into drinking back home, are we? I don't know if I would say that. Perhaps not everyone is the same. Well, bars are generally a place where people go to unwind. And the alcohol loosens their lips, so to speak. They'll talk about almost anything. Themselves, their troubles. And often, the root of the problem will involve what is troubling the world's people. It's a useful place to visit. Speaking of problems, what was the issue of the last world you visited? Pollution. The world was kind of oldish, and much less practical than ours. They kept throwing out their stuff and had bad ways of making energy. Their water ended up getting poisoned, and a lot of them were sick. Long-term project, I assume? Yeah, my mentor had already been working on it for a while before I came. I think it was around 5 months. That's so. Huh. I'm glad I'm assigned short-term projects. It'd be something awful to get stuck in the same problem for nearly a year. I agree, but I don't know about the way you said that. How long did you shadow her? 3 days. I see. You've never had alcohol, have you? What? Oh. No, sir, I would never. I mean, I'm too young. I stop in my tracks, and he stops to turn. His lips then curl into a kind of oh-ho-ho expression, oh-ho-hoing at my innocence, ripe to be defiled. It is creepy. I am uncomfortable. No, you wouldn't do anything against the rules, would you? Is that a test? A trick? A challenge? No sir, I would not. His smile broadens at this, and my discomfort increases. You know, Winter, each world you visit will have its own laws, its own customs, and its own social graces. You're going to have to learn to make your mind a little more flexible if you want to succeed. I'm gonna have you drink some alcohol at the bar. Oh no, he's gonna try to get her drunk. Excuse me? I don't want to. Besides, I'm underage. It's against the law. Well, Winter, in many cultures, you will be expected to drink, even at your current age. You should be ready for that, and you should know the effects alcohol has on yourself and others. What? He's telling me to break the law. Whoa, no. That is completely out of my comfort zone. I probably hate alcohol even, right? I do not want to do this. I mean, I know we're in another world, so it's not really the law, but... No, this is my conviction. I was born and raised to a set of rules, and I think that would be best to live by them. It is like what I learned in class. One might think it best to try absorbing all aspects of culture met. However, it is not advisable. In absorbing a culture, you run the risk of becoming absorbed by that culture as well. Meat eaters should not forget who they are. I am Winter Harrison. I will not be shaken by this. I don't think I can do that, sir. Winter. That's an order. This is part of your training. If you do not drink alcohol at the bar, I will be forced to fail you. What? Oh, shit. That isn't. That's not allowed. You can't make me do anything. I most certainly can. I'm your mentor. Only for today. Only for today. And you aren't always going to be that. Besides, you can't threaten me because I have my convictions, and I won't forget who I am. Shh. I'm right. I can tell I'm right because his cheeks are flushed, my heart is pounding, and he looks wounded. I hurt him. I struck out against him, and he knows he's wrong. It isn't just enough that he's hurting inside, though. I need to teach him a lesson. I need to knock it into him. Therefore, I will raise this trembling arm and trembling fist. I will raise it and grit my teeth, and I'll punch him right in his pathetic-looking chest. Ha. What? Just a random punch? Okay. It doesn't look that effective, honestly. Winter, what is this? I'm rebelling against you. Did you just punch me? I nodded my head quickly and with purpose. You did. What does it look like? My fist smashed into your ribs, didn't it? Well, smashed is a bit of an overstatement. All of a sudden, my hair goes paff. Paff? That's a weird sound. Oh, like, instead of him patting, I guess. as if something heavy has lightly fallen on it. I glance up to find Cyrus resting his hand on my head. Although I know what he's doing, in fact, I just said so, I'm still compelled to ask. What are you doing? Winter, fine, I won't force you to drink. You mean you can't? I mean I won't. I will, however, put forth a stern suggestion. It would be very wise of you to drink. It will help you ease into the taste of another place. I know what they taught you, and I'd be lying if I said I ignore what I've learned. Just remember the way it's worded. You're allowed to let yourself go a little. Just don't forget. I haven't forgotten, and neither have you, it seems. But you shouldn't be afraid of stepping outside of yourself, if only for a little while. In a sense, that's what you're doing already in being here. So I urge you, Winter. Have a pin. I'll just a little. Good enough. Well, there's a bar. Come on, Winter. That's a bar? What makes it any different from any of the other stores? It looks just the same from outside. They don't seem to pride themselves on distinction out here. I run my hand through my hair and grimace. I wonder if, since all the storefronts look like this, maybe they're all bars. What a terrible thought. What if this culture... what if this is a culture which loves to drink? Will I be expected to drink a lot? I hope not. Warily, I begin to follow Cyrus. What am I doing? This is so illegal. I wonder if I can report this. Yeah, I don't know how that'd work, because it seems like they're just on a different planet so far, so... Yeah, the laws would be, like, completely different from your homeworld. It's kind of like traveling to a different country, and, like, I know that some other countries allow people that are younger to drink than 21. Outside of America, at least, so it'd be kind of like that, I guess, in a way. Okay, brace for it. No amount of alcohol-tinged breath could be enough to prepare me for this bar smell. Surely. Mother always talks about how awful bars are, and how that's why she only ever drinks at home. Sweaty and piggish, and smelling like failure. This could only lead to misery. Slowly, I part the fingers over my nostrils. It does not smell at all. Cut that out, Winter. You look ridiculous. Hey, leave me alone. I've been misled. Slowly, I put down my hand, but not without glaring at Cyrus. He ignores this, of course, and walks over to the empty table to have a seat. He then pats the top of the chair next to him, inviting me. Well, whatever. I follow his lead, still cautious of this place.